Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, and welcome to Gift of Healing TV. My name is Sarah Jane, and I'm your hostess for this evening, and we have a very special guest with us this evening, Ildiko Scurr. Now, I'm going to apologise at the absolute outset. Ildiko is here. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, and we haven't been able to sort it out in the last half hour, her camera doesn't appear to be connecting with this technology. So we only have a picture of Ildiko, but we can definitely hear Ildiko, and so I do apologise that we do not have a visual of Ildiko this evening. So let me briefly introduce her to you. Ildiko Scurr is the founder of a self-empowerment system called Life Retuning. Life Retuning is where quantum physics meets ancient metaphysics in a system using energetic information to remove mental blocks, self-sabotaging behavior, and distressing emotions. She describes it as quantum wizardry for this age. She is a master of energy who has been in private practice for over 10 years and set up the Life Retuning Academy, which serves to offer global certificated training to qualify others in her system. She gives regular talks, writes articles, and is a guest author of several books. She is passionate about facilitating others to access their own truth and inner resources. Her mission is to play her part in relieving human suffering and raising the energy frequencies of global consciousness. Ildiko, welcome.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
And we can hear you clearly.
Good, well that's the main thing.
Please share a little bit with folks about how you got started.
Sure. Well, yeah, about 20 years ago, I suffered what I will term a nervous breakdown. And it was a very devastating 6 years. I was really in the worst place with this I'll term it an illness. And I desperately needed to find a way out of it so that I could actually have a decent quality of life. And I came across the original energy psychology, which was developed by Dr. Roger Callahan about 30 years ago. And he had put together or discovered that tapping on particular meridian points on the body actually was able to pick up on coded information in our thought fields, and that could deactivate negative emotions. So I actually had some treatment and found that that was the only thing that started bringing me out of my breakdown. On from that, I became a top international trainer with them, and it really led me deeper and deeper into energy psychology and eventually investigating quantum physics. And really what I'm doing now, the Life Retuning, has grown immensely from that kernel of the thought field therapy, and includes a lot more modalities as well. But that's how I actually started, was having a nervous breakdown, like I think a lot of people suffer, to actually open up the channels to go into healing and therapy.
Brilliant, thank you. And so many people have started from something that's actually happened with them. And I feel it's always so important to share this, because it does help, I think, the folks that are watching, that are listening, to realise that whatever they're going through, we can all come through it, and there are so many of us that the traumas, etc., that have happened in our lives, we can do this. So
absolutely, Sarah, yes, I agree.
Yeah, so thank you. Right, I am going to mention that we have got a few people. I put a little notice up saying sort of, hi, please say hi, say who you are and where you're from. And we've got Sylvia in Arizona, Lynn in Bournemouth, Kate in Malmesbury in Wiltshire, Leslie, a Brit in Spain, Blair, USA, California, and Sheila and Mike from Poole. So
Wonderful.
we have a lovely little cross section of folks, and there's more than that on the call, but they're the people who've spoken to us. So welcome, folks. For anybody who's a little bit late joining us, we have camera issues for whatever reason, Ildiko's end, we think, but we're not 100% certain, but we've got camera issues. So, but we are still doing this program live. And Ildiko, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're doing this evening?
I'd love to, Sarah. First of all, I'd like to say hi to everybody, especially those lovely people who are supporting me, whose names you read out. So welcome and thank you so much for joining. I'd love to share the background of this particular exercise that I call reminding. Last year, I was at a wellness festival, and during one of the workshops, I heard a chant with a spoken stanza from a Tibetan master, which was overlaid. And it was, when I heard it, it was almost like I was struck by a thunderbolt. Something activated in my mind, and I want to share that stanza with you. I did actually put it up on my website, but for those people who haven't read it, I would like to read it out, because I think it's just a phenomenally powerful, transformative stanza. So it is this: rest in natural great peace, this exhausted mind, beaten helpless by karma and neurotic thoughts. Like the relentless fury of the pounding waves in the infinite ocean of samsara, rest in natural great peace. And this is by a Tibetan master called Khenpo Rinpoche. And for some reason, it really did affect me. And I knew it was important, but at the time, I didn't know why. So on from that, I started having thoughts around the mind and the way that it actually works, because for the last 6-7 years I have got a real insight into the way our minds work because of the way that I work with life retuning, and I can pick up on patterns that possibly are not quite so obvious necessarily any other way. And what I realized was that since the 1700s we've been living in what I consider to be the real dark ages, which is the age of the dominance of the mind. And if you've heard of René Descartes, he was a philosopher who declared that the mind and body are separate. And I believe at that point we descended into a very dangerous state with our consciousness. Also, Sir Isaac Newton declaring that the universe is mechanistic meant that suddenly the heart and the intuition was totally cut out of the equation and the mind took over. Now, I believe it's almost become like a parasite, because it's taken over every aspect of our lives, and this planet seems to be run by the mind almost exclusively, which needs to change. So one day, a while ago, I was sitting in my treatment room, and I was just sitting there in silence looking around my room, and what I suddenly became aware of is that my mind was commentating on everything that I was looking at. So, window, I was looking at the window, I've got window, door, pot plant, scrap of paper on my table, scrap of paper. And I thought, my God, this is what it's doing all the time. I don't have a moment's peace from this. And so suddenly that I realized this, something fell into place, which obviously tied in with what I'd heard during the wellness festival. And I tried an experiment. And within a minute of doing it, I was able to look around my treatment room, and there was no commentating, silence. So I found that I'd done something very significant. Now, that experiment developed into the procedure I now call reminding, and I use it as one of the powerful tools within a life retuning session to help people to get unstuck from their mental stuff. So I've tried it on various clients straight away and found some surprising results and some very powerful results. And the last piece of this jigsaw puzzle is that on the 16th of May, after having used the exercise with several clients, I decided that I was going to share it publicly. And on the same day, I opened a book by Neil Donald Walsh, which I'm sure you probably all know, which is The Conversations with God, Part 1. And as I started reading it, I found that on page 28, I came across the words, "A big part of your job is to remind others," in brackets, that is, to re-mind them. Well, I saw this as a sign. So I knew that this needed to get out there. And my task is simple. I'm using the communication channels open to me to get this message across to you. And I'm doing this now, tonight. And thank you very much, Sarah, for giving me the opportunity on Gift of Healing TV program to do this. This is wonderful. So please understand that the reminding is a true gift from Spirit and our collective consciousness to me and to you. And there is only one way of showing gratitude for this, and that is to share the reminding video as far and wide as you possibly can once you've got the recording. So that's really the background of the reminding exercise, Sarah.
Brilliant, brilliant. So when you're ready, what do you want us to do?
I'd like you to just sit and listen. Unfortunately, you can't see me on the video, but I am recording it this end. So there will be a visual recording of this. But please just sit and listen, and let's let go of the mental mistletoe. Okay, so the mind performs a simple calculation. It analyzes your experiences from the past to make a calculation in the present to estimate the level of threat of a future situation. If it calculates that threat level to be too high, it will make you uncomfortable through either emotional, mental, or physical discomfort or pain. And it does this to make sure you either avoid the situation or get out of it as fast as possible. So what we're going to do is reduce the perception of those threat levels and ease the pressure off your mind tonight. So since the mind was declared king in around the 1700s, we don't give it any boundaries, commands, or parameters. So instead, most people just allow the mind to run the whole show. But it was never meant to run the whole show, and it's not good at everything. It's simply a computer. So what we're going to do is change the landscape of your consciousness and bring the heart online, and that will release a greater access to your intuition. And once you have the three parts of consciousness, heart, mind, and intuition, balanced, they will be able to work much more efficiently as your GPS system for navigating your life better. So I'd like you to just become consciously aware of how many thoughts are filling up your mind right now. Just take a moment and scan your mind. Just listen in to what's going on. Are you noticing that it's continuously commentating on everything like I did? As you're looking around your environment, is it commentating on everything that you're looking at? Are you finding an instant mental description coming with everything? Are you finding that it's running a disaster log or disaster scenario log for you? So you are thinking about things in the future, and your mind is actually assessing the threat level. So just listen in on that mental chatter for a moment. Notice if those thoughts are predominantly positive or negative. And what is your mind focused on right now? Is it buzzing like a hive of bees at the moment with lots and lots of thoughts zipping through? What you are hearing at the moment is your mind voice. So what I'd like you to do is to please say the following sentence, which is what I term a power command. I now give my mind permission to switch off.
I now give my mind permission to switch off.
What's happening in your mind now? Is the buzzing still continuing, or has it suddenly stopped and almost gone into a state of shock? Just like this. Because what you should find is that suddenly you get silence. It might only last for a couple of seconds or minutes, but the word permission is a very powerful word which the mind cannot really compute, and therefore you've interrupted it. Now you're going to have a direct conversation with your mind now that you've stopped it. So firstly, I'd like you to please thank it for the amazing work that it has done to keep you alive. I'd like you to tell it how grateful you are for that job, that vital job that it has done throughout your life. But that now you're going to help to ease the incredible pressure that it has been under. That it will no longer be working and doing all the jobs of consciousness, but that help is now going to be coming in. And that help is coming in with the mind, the heart and the intuition. And they will be taking over those jobs that they are amazingly good at from now on. Your mind will only be required to do the jobs that it is amazingly good at doing. You, as a conscious organism, will now be working as a team: heart, mind, and intuition. A cosmic triangle of consciousness, equal, balanced, coherent, and in harmony for your greatest good. Are you experiencing a quietness in your mind? You may even feel a sense of relief taking place. You might feel that translated into your body as stress actually drops from your muscles. You might find that your shoulders have suddenly relaxed. You might be breathing a little bit deeper as your mind suddenly realizes that some of the pressure is going to be coming off. So are you experiencing a relieved mental sigh? You may find that your mind will start to make itself known to you in a symbolic form. You will be able to recognize its energy in that symbolic form in the future. It may even step forward in a form of a person. That has happened before. This is helpful, but it's not necessary. If it's not happening for you, that's fine. Are you finding that your mind has stopped and is quietly waiting now for what comes next? Now I'd like you to please say the following power commands. Mind, I now give you permission to stop commentating.
Mind, I now give you permission to stop commentating.
Mind, I now give you permission to stop creating disaster scenarios.
Mind, I now give you permission to stop creating disaster scenarios.
Mind, when I tell you to stand down, you will stand down.
Mind, when I tell you to stand down, you will stand down.
What you've done is now programmed your mind to recognize and respond to your power commands in the future. You have been given control. Now, what we're going to do is activate the energetic path from your mind to your heart center. You can recognize your mind voice because you've taken time to actually listen in, and you've heard it many times in the past too. Now you're going to give yourself a chance for your heart voice to speak to you, maybe for the first time. There is a light that shines brighter than the earth, the stars and the heavens. And that is the light that shines in a diamond that resides in the lotus of the heart. What I'd like you to do now is just take a deep breath in and release it out. And take another deep breath in and release it out. And as you do so, allow any stress in your system to leave as a grey mist. Take a third deep breath in and release it out all the way. And just feel your body completely relax and gently close your eyes. I'd like you to visualize a glowing blue sphere behind your third eye. And that sphere contains all of your consciousness. Just visualize that now. That sphere sitting behind your third eye. And as you take a deep breath in, just focus on that sphere, and as you breathe out, allow gravity to take it and allow it to start dropping down from your third eye, down past your eyes, down past your nose, past your mouth, all the way down until that glowing blue sphere of your consciousness ends up in your throat. And just allow it to sit there for a couple of moments and feel what it's like for your entire conscious awareness to be sitting in your throat. And you can look up from that place and notice that there's nothing going on in your head. It's all centered in your throat. Just take a couple of breaths and feel what it's like for your consciousness to be sitting somewhere else other than in your head. And then take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, allow that sphere to start dropping down from your throat into your chest area. Dropping, dropping, dropping down your spine, all the way down through your chest, down and down, until it comes to reside in the center of your heart. And just feel what it's like for that glowing blue sphere, which contains all of your conscious awareness. to be sitting in your heart center. And as you feel it sitting in your heart center, I'd like you to open out your awareness to the front of your body and just experience your environment from that place. For a couple of moments, just notice what you notice and feel what you feel. It will feel very different. And now I'd like you to ask your heart to speak to you. The heart voice will be slow, measured, and it may only speak one word to you, but that word will be your truth. The heart is aligned with the energy field, and its job is not to check for threats, as it is the mind, but it understands infinity and love. The energy emanating from the heart is 60 times more powerful than that of the mind, and it has access to much more information than the mind. So I'm going to leave you here to listen to your heart voice for a couple of moments and just ask for it to speak to you and note down what it says. Note how it makes you feel. And know that you can return to this place anytime that you wish. I'd like you to take a deep breath in and feel that glowing blue sphere of your consciousness suddenly losing gravity and becoming weightless, and allow it to start floating up into your chest cavity from your heart center. Up and up, and with each breath that you take, it's rising up your spine, all the way up, gently rising until it reaches your throat and keeps on going past your mouth, your nose, your eyes, until it comes to rest again just behind your third eye. That's it. Take a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just feel your feet on the floor. And on the third breath in, just come back into your environment and open your eyes. So you can use the power commands to work with the mind and switch it off as often as you can. Let your heart judge the situations that come into your consciousness from now on. And when you've switched off your mind and you have the silence necessary for your heart voice to come through, the more you allow your heart to have a say in your life, the more open you will become to picking up on energetic information consciously, and this will open your intuitive channels. So, to summarize, switch your mind off. Take your conscious awareness down to your heart center. Listen for your heart voice. Be present for your intuition to activate. You can use the reminding exercise in any situation to cut through the illusion spun by your mind and to access your heart's energetic truth. So that completes the reminding exercise. And I would like to ask you to do 4 things. First of all, in the next 24 hours, I would like you all to do a random act of kindness. Once you've done that, please go to my webpage, the one that I have sent the link to, and leave a heart. No explanation, no details, just a heart. And you can copy the heart icon that I've already put on that post. Please do leave feedback and let me know how the reminding has gone for you, how you felt today, and how things will change after this for you. And when Gift of Healing TV shares the recording of the reminding, please share it with 3 other people at least. And I thank you for that. So, Sarah, that completes the reminding.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Ildiko. Folks, if anybody has any questions or would like to share their experience of that, please, questions are, let's, while we've got Ildiko here, because genuinely she is here, folks. It's not a recording.
Yes.
I know you can't.
It's not a hologram.
But this is very real, very live, and I know the whole idea is to have it visual, and I really apologise, and we don't know why. But please, so if you've got any questions, folks, love to hear those questions, please. As Ildiko has said, for all of those that are watching live, great, you are going to receive an email with the link to the replay. And my suggestion would be, and Ildiko, I'm sure you'll be very happy with this, write down the commands. Because I was thinking I should have had
absolutely. I'm more than happy. Let's send it to people with the email with the recording, and
that's going out in 2 hours' time. So
okay.
if I'm going to get it back into that, which I hope it'll let me, I need to have that almost instantaneously, so I can do that so that it goes there. So actually my suggestion would really be, because obviously anybody who's watching the video on the replay or on YouTube, it's go back, folks, make sure you've got pen and paper and write them down.
Absolutely. Well, I can send that to you. For some reason my text box doesn't work either, but I can send that to you right now so you can put it out there.
But then obviously it's an important thing that it's sort of suggesting to people that having that pen and paper. So we've got a couple of comments, so let's go to those. Thank you very much, Sara and Ildiko. Namaste, that's from Sylvia. Kate, hi, I found it difficult to concentrate because the music was sadly distorted via the web. Kate, can I make a suggestion? You heard exactly what you were meant to hear. And it wasn't about what you heard, it was about the vibration of that sound and the feeling. And at Ildiko, I mean, I because I work with sound energy me, it is very much about the feeling and not the actual sound.
I'd agree with you, and yes, I will share. I'm glad that was flagged up, because what I played to you is what's called a solfeggio frequency. It's the 528 hertz frequency, which activates the heart center, DNA repair, and miracles and manifestation. So yes, that was what was running in the background.
So yeah, Kate has just said yes with a little smile. So Lynn, so good. I'm glad we've covered that one. Lynn says, thank you so much to Ildiko. Felt such amazing peace and love. What a powerful gift you have given to us. So grateful. Thank you, thank you. Much love and many thanks to you.
Oh, bless you, Lynn. Thank you.
And Sylvia says, I agree with Lynn. Lots of love and peace was felt from my side as well. Thank you so much for the gift. We've got extra O's on the end of that one. So
lovely. Bless you, Sylvia. Thank you.
So, and anybody else, if there's any questions, please ask them. But what we're also doing within the replay, there is an email address. I'm sure we've put an email address in there for Ildiko. So if you want to send any questions to her, please do send them to her. Brilliant. Okay, Leslie says 528 hertz solfeggio frequency. Look up on YouTube. So
very good.
Okay, and Kate says, okay, thank you. I'll have a re-listen later. So, but do you know what thing? I think, I don't know about you, Ildiko, it's not about just doing these things once. With this type of thing, that it's getting your mind used to the fact that it's allowed not to be in control.
Absolutely.
So it's
we have a lot of unpicking to do. Probably about 2,000 years worth, actually, but in reality, certainly back to the 1700s. Now, generation after generation of minds has been allowed to run free. So, yeah, there's a lot of unpicking to do.
There's a part of me that feels that where all the real problems have come in is where, for want of a better way of putting it, man has been determined to control man.
Yep, absolutely.
And when man started creating fear to bring that control about, and the word fear, false evidence appearing real.
Very good, yes.
In fact, there was something on I think it was Facebook today with that written on it.
Right.
I think it might have even been Doreen Virtue that had put it up. And so it really is. It is about giving our minds permission. I've just asked my mind to change its role. But I won't go into that because this is about what you've done. So yes, this is amazing, and it in some ways follows something I've done for myself and didn't even think necessarily about sharing specifically.
Right.
But this is excellent, and thank you, Ildiko.
Right. I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to share it. And what I'd also like to say is, perhaps in the email that you send out, or maybe before the interview, I've got a special gift actually as a follow-up to send, which is an e-guide which is in 6 parts, and I will release one each week about how to live a conscious and energetically aligned life. So that's coming, so perhaps we can sort of decide when to send that.
I think I've got a perfect answer for that. Hopefully everybody who's on the call listening to this live has actually gone onto the mailing list. Because if they've gone onto the mailing list, so just now your next one is on
the 19th of November.
19th of November.
Yeah.
Okay, I have said to folks I would only send out 1 email a month, but what I'll do is just before the 19th, as a reminder to everybody that's on the Gift of Healing TV mailing list, I will send them out a reminder of this program and do all the December ones as well. But what I can do is, how about if I send the wording and the gift to people before that program, so before the 19th?
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely, that's
so
great.
we can do it that way, so that folks that have missed it will be encouraged to come and watch it, and folks that have been here and haven't had a chance to go back and write those words down, it'll be a good reminder, and hopefully they'll revisit this video before our main interview, which we hope will have the camera working for.
I do hope so. We've got a little bit of time, Sarah, so I'm sure we can work it out.
I'm sure we'll sort something out. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Linda says, "Thank you, Ildiko. It was excellent. I fell asleep during the heart exercise."
Right. It's all
Ildiko,
good.
I was going to say, what to me, that just meant you totally let go of the mind.
That's right. Perfect.
And to me, that is always perfect. Sleeping means you let go of the mind.
I absolutely agree with you. That's great, Linda. I'm really pleased you had a good experience. Thanks for sharing.
And Leslie says, "Thanks, Sarah and Ildiko." So, folks, I'd say a huge thank you to Ildiko for her share this evening. If there's any last comments, please get them typed in and shared. And I would just like to let you know, and we're still actually going to be working with the mind next week. We have the wonderful Tommy Stoffel coming on to talk about his chatter relaxer. So I have the feeling that over the next few weeks we're going to be doing quite a lot with the mind, and somebody who's coming on in March when I do the Antipodean 7:30 a.m. in the morning calls here in the UK. He's going to be doing something with the mind and heart as well. So this is great, but I think it's all essential. And I'm a great believer in, folks will take something from absolutely everything, and it will help everybody. So please join us next week. The link to Tommy's program next week is in the email that'll be going out later. So, folks, thank you very much. Kate says thank you. Linda says thank you. So, and I'm going to say a huge thank you to you, Ildiko.
Very welcome. I'm just delighted to have shared it this evening, and it's great that seemingly you've all had powerful experiences with it. It is a powerful tool, so that's absolutely wonderful. So brilliant.
Well, thank you very much indeed, folks. Have a wonderful rest of day, evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we hope you'll join us again next week. Love, peace and light. Namaste, folks.
And from me.